happened throughout yesterday till this morning, which personally have expressed a serious level of displeasure relative to how the focus has always been on the son of Honorable Mimisawa Kumsin. I don't know whether by virtue of the fact that he happened to be the son of a minister or the son of a government appointee.
Well, the thing is, when it bleeds, it leads. If someone has him stabbed, that's news, no?
Absolutely, I don't have any problem with that. But I'm also so surprised that Asma, a poor man, a poor young guy, who was butchered, right, with a wood fixed with nails. I think the same attention should be given to Asma. Two NDC members, our constituency organizer, who was present, who decided to even go to their rescue and take them to the police, to the hospital for them to be resuscitated. He's been arrested. And when we go to the regional police commander and ask them, what is the basis of the arrest? They said, the reason why we are arresting the NDC constituency organizer is because he's the only NDC leader who was present when the clash happened. But respectfully, I want to ask the police service. The constituency secretary of the NPP have granted a series of interviews and has admitted he was also present when the incidents took place. Has he been arrested or he's above the law? Banning political party agents from witnessing transfer process in the history of this country before.
Not that I know of.
Exactly. So why this? Why this? Why this directive? For me, I don't take instructions from the Electoral Commission. The current Electoral Commission, where you have somebody like Dr. Apiahini, a known MPP communicator like myself, somebody who represents the MPP at the coalition center in the Bono region. Why do you have to trust the Electoral Commission?
So you had there the NDC Communications Director for Ewutu Senya East, Delali Sewakpo. While reacting to this, Dr. Issa Asante believes the EC's directive will only enforce suspicions by other political parties against the Commission. He wants the EC to stick to the agreement drawn during the IPAC meeting. He spoke on Morning Star.
Every election is anchored on three or four things. One, transparency, trust, and accountability. These are things that constitute the building blocks of every free and fair election, without which, come back to square one. You earn nothing. So it is on the basis of this that this country has developed a rule of convenience that has led to establishment of IPAC. So I am at sea to hear that, yes, because there's a problem in one constituency, that this type of statement is issued to all, as it were, reverse a decision already taken at IPAC and which has been supported by all the stakeholders. That cannot be the way out, because remember, there are issues of trust that NDC has with the Electoral Commission. Whether they are right or wrong, I am not in a position to say. So, to be able to make sure that these problems will not impinge upon the election, it is important that you stick to decisions that you have reached at IPAC and that stakeholders have accepted. Then you move on. Let us also remember that democracy hinges on rule of law. So in the course of undertaking this exercise, there are unscrupulous people who want to subvert the system, undermine the system. That is why we have institutions that will pay them regularly to maintain law and order. You hand them over to that. But if you say that you are not going to allow the political parties to have representation there, you are fueling that suspicion other parties, for instance, the NDC has against the Electoral Commission and all that. So I don't think this can be the best way in dealing with the problem.
Political scientist with the University of Ghana, Dr. Issa Asante. Let's remain with politics because independent presidential aspirant Alan Tremantin has attributed the rapid fall of the Ghana cedi to what he describes as a systematic failure to improve domestic production of goods for local consumption. The continuous fall of the local currency, which is currently hovering around 16 Ghana cedis to $1, has impacted inflation rate in the market and other sectors of the economy. Now, speaking during a press tour to kickstart phase 2 of his market tour of the Eastern region, the former trades minister also blamed the situation on lack of confidence in the country's economy. Take a listen.
Happened throughout yesterday till this morning, which personally have expressed a serious level of displeasure relative to how the focus has always been on the son of Honorable Mimisawa Kumsin. I don't know whether by virtue of the fact that happened throughout yesterday till this morning, which personally have expressed a serious level of displeasure relative to how the focus has always been on the son of Honorable Minister Akumsin.
We apologize for the wrongies and we'll bring you the correct one in our subsequent bulletin. But let's do some court-related stories. Lawyers for the minority leader, Dr. Kaiser Latoforsen, have officially drawn the attention of the court to an alleged leaked audio of a phone conversation between AG Godfred Yeboadame and the third accused, Richard Jakpa, in the ongoing ambulance trial. This follows the filing of supplementary affidavit in support of an earlier request for an order of mistrial, injunction of an earlier request for an order of mistrial, I beg your pardon, injunction or stay of proceedings by the legal team. The lawyers cited a leaked tape between the Attorney General, Godfred Yeboadame, Richard Jakpa, who is alleged to attempt to coach the third accused to implicate Dr. Atoforsen in the ongoing trial for the application. Atoforsen's legal team in the affidavit argues that the Attorney General misconducted himself and called for the prosecution to be declared as a mistrial. Legal affairs correspondent Mutala Inusa is in the studio for more on this. Mutala, what are they presenting to court?
Well, Dede, like you rightly indicated, lawyers of Dr. Katiel Atoforsen are in court. In fact, what they are asking the court is simple. The court should terminate the trial. The court should end what is happening because they feel that whatever has been put before the court following that allegation made by Mr. Richard Jakpa, the third accused person, it means that the trial is a mistrial and the court should declare same so. And in fact, after filing that particular application before the court presided over by Justice Ifya Sewa Saribuchi, a justice of the Court of Appeal, sitting as an additional High Court judge, the court has fixed the hearing for tomorrow, June 4. But the lawyers indicate that following that particular tape that was as it made public, what was played, remember that the NDC had a press conference where an audio, a leaked audio as it were, came up detailing a conversation that took place between the Attorney General Godfred Yeboadame and Mr. Richard Jakpa. They found it needful to file a supplementary affidavit in support of their case, and that supplementary affidavit had to do with that audio tape. So officially, they have been able to bring this audio to the attention of the court. Let me walk you through what they have said in respect of the supplementary affidavit that was filed on the 1st of May. It went on. Part of it says that I say that I have, since the filing of the instant application, had the opportunity of listening to a recording widely circulating in the media depicting the voice of the Attorney General and A3. The A3 here is Mr. Richard Jakpa fervently discussing the evidence the Attorney General would prefer the said A3 to adduce at the trial. At the hearing of the instant application, that the one seeking for a mistrial, my counsel will seek leave of the court to have the said audio recording played in open court. So they want the court play that particular audio in open court. They also want that, they also stated that from the said exhibit or the recording, which was named exhibit CAF 2, there is no doubt that the Honorable Attorney General Godfred Yeboadame, the prosecutor in chief, had engaged A3 on many occasions discussing the current proceedings and the evidence the Attorney General desire A3 to give in order to support the prosecution's case in this matter. Now, let me add what it went on to say. It went on to say that, look, if you look at what has happened by way of the supplementary, I said, well, that the content of the exhibit CAF 2 is scandalous and leaves no doubt that the Honorable Attorney General Godfred Yeboadame and his office cannot necessarily or cannot reasonably be expected to conduct the instant prosecution fairly and in the accordance with the hallowed principles of prosecution, and made reference to the Honorable Attorney General Dame is heard on a tape saying, among other things. So, in brief, all that they are saying is that they have even made portions of the said audio recordings, if transcribed portions of it, and then put it in their statement. They are asking the court that particular audio should be placed to justify why they are making the case that the trial is a mistrial. The court should order for a mistrial. The court to terminate the trial at this particular point in time, because whatever has happened, it has happened. It is not in the interest of justice. In fact, they're also making a point to a publication that was made on Asasi Radio, Asasi online, and they have made said to conclude that the Asasi Radio news report, which they have tendered in the exhibit CAF 4, said conclude that the Attorney General told Jakpa in the presence of the Justice of the Supreme Court that, for instance, he would show him in the cabinet approval. He would show him the cabinet approval for the transaction, which the prosecution had already tendered at the trial, and asked whether Big C Company was mentioned in the cabinet approval. So these are some of the things that they have stated in their supplementary affidavit, which was deposed in court, or which was filed on the 31st of May, and hopefully tomorrow, June 4, Justice Ifiasewa Saribuchi will have the opportunity to hear the parties on.
Right, Murtala, thank you. But before you go, what do we know about the anti-gay bill today? We were expecting a broadcast today, a live broadcast. What happened?
Okay, so a farmer, remember sometime in 2021 also, when the issue of the anti-gay bill, as it were, came up, filed a suit at the High Court and was actually challenging the process, the passage of that particular bill. Now, today, the case came up in court before Justice Ellen Sewa Lordinamirikua. And what happened, for the first time today, a case at the High Court being televised on TV, and it is historic if you ask me, because this is the very first time a case is coming up at the High Court and it's being televised or telecast on TV. In fact, when the parties appeared before the court, what they indicate is that they will need 4 weeks to be able to file their respective written submission, and 4 weeks from now will be July 4. The court has subsequently directed that after filing on July 4, it would fix a date on July 29. The party will have to come back again and to ensure that compliance, or to ensure compliance. And after that, the court will fix a date on July 29 to deliver judgment in this matter. So that's what happened in relation to this case. A very short sitting indeed.
Okay, thank you so much. That was our legal affairs correspondent, Murtala Inusa, joining me with details of what's happening in court today. On to a rather sad story. On June 3rd, 2015, Ghana experienced a twin disaster which claimed over 150 lives. The tragedy occurred after several hours of torrential rainfall, which led to massive floods in the capital city, Accra. And during the downpour, fuel leakage at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle caught fire from a cigarette stub near a fuel station, resulting in an explosion alongside the flood. Well, 9 years on, the capital continues to drown whenever it rains. In the following feature, Starr News' Obed Kengaglu narrates the tale of a sinking city in despair and the lessons learned or otherwise. Take a listen.
Over 150 people died and hundreds of people suffered severe burns in the unfortunate incident. Tears flowed just like the floods on that Black Wednesday as many counted their losses. The floods were attributed to blockages in Accra's main storm drains, resulting from the non-desilting of the drains, including structures by squatters that had blocked waterways. Alex Mensah, a commercial driver and a survivor of the June 3 disaster, narrates his ordeal.
Mapon akufi. Mtama mekona nzonito. Midufien natame kona mitwamiri sa omba. Ena misa tuka back eba circle say the family ako. Midu circle na misa circle bibia fradi. A filling station say me tofu. Midu na msonu kwa engine na kana kao. Ndi mi pake kao filling station ena eko dina chen. Nche bia na my wife trying to say she jao before meka say mbe dwane afu ope ena jabe tom so.
The governments of the day promised never again.
Drastic steps are necessary here if we are to permanently address
this perennial problem. We'll intensify our efforts to expand and modernize our drainage system. In this endeavor, I request your understanding and the cooperation of Ghanaians to set right what has been wrong with our country for far too long.
Subsequently, the Akufo-Addo government also promised to solve the perennial flooding situation.
Metropolitan, municipal, and district chief assemblies have been charged to ensure the obstructions to the free flow of water, as well as developments along waterways, are removed immediately. MMDAs are also to ensure the strict adherence of developers to the planning laws of our country.
Unfortunately, the perennial flooding situation in the capital still persists for residents of low-lying areas such as Alajo, Adabraka, among others. The onset of the rainy season brings trauma. Mary Ansa, a single mother of 3, has experienced the agony of floods firsthand.
I think around 2 the rain was too much. It started entering our rooms, so we have to run for our lives here. So we all ran to the top there.
Is Ghana awaiting another disaster? The government also has a responsibility to ensure Accra's drainage system is engineered to accommodate the floods. But citizens also have a responsibility. For Star News, Obed Kengaglu.
So we had a special feature remembering victims of the June 3rd disaster and also a tale of perennial flooding in Accra. Away from that, a family of a baby that was almost stolen at the Zebila District Hospital is insisting the arrested suspect be handed over to them. The angry family stormed the premises of the Zebila Divisional Police Command, demanding the release of the female suspect. The suspect, whose name has been withheld, is said to have gone to the hospital under the guise of visiting a patient. She's said to have started a conversation with the mother of the baby and made away with the 1-week-old infant when the mother went to take her bath. There is more in this report.
Felicia Derry was given the shock of her life on Saturday night when she entrusted her baby in the care of a new friend she made at the Zebila Hospital in the Upper East region. She returned from a bath to realize her new friend had absconded with her 1-week-old baby. But after a report to the police in the area and subsequent announcement on radio, the suspect was arrested in Binaba, a community which is 21 kilometers from Zebila, with the baby. Joe's Abugri's trip to the Zebila police station to check on what the police was doing about prosecuting the suspects turned confrontational. He is alleged to have been assaulted by a policeman, which resulted in his family storming the station to exchange words with the law enforcers.
He hit me all over with a stick, and now I cannot even lift my hand. It really hurts. I did not offend him in any way when I arrived. I want to know who gave the police the license to assault me.
Joe Abugri's demand from the police is a simple one. He wants the suspects, whose name is not known yet, to be handed over to him.
That is my firstborn. I don't know if I will ever have other kids. And the woman who stole the baby hasn't given birth before. So what breast milk will she feed the baby? Why did she have to steal the baby? She almost ruined my life, but thanks to God, it has been sorted. So I also want to ruin her life.
Though the police will not speak to the media in the heat of the confusion with the family of Joe Abugri, they were, however, ready to repel any attempts to attack the station. The development is forcing the Zebila District Hospital to begin thinking of ways to prevent a reoccurrence.
The hospital is not fenced. There are multiple points of entry, so that in itself is a challenge. And when you come to the wards, most often than not in the morning, you would see that patient relatives are always in one form of argument or another with the security men at post, because they don't understand when you tell them that this is not visiting hours. So we've always had it tough. But looking at this incident, I think as management, we have to go back to the drawing board and then see how we can institute measures to ensure that this doesn't happen again.
At the time of leaving the area, the family of Joe Abugui were still waiting for the police to hand over the suspect to them for instant justice.
Well, let's go over the phone line and speak to EIB's Deputy News Editor, Musa Lansa, who is currently in Zebila. Musa, good afternoon. You've been following the news when it broke. What more can you tell us on this?
Well, apart from the Zebila Hospital beginning a new system of making sure that patients who get accountable, nothing really has happened. What we understand is that the police is preparing to send us places that to take it.
Hello, Musa, can you hear me? Hello, Musa. Hello, Musa, can you hear me? Your line is breaking. Can you please reposition yourself? Hello, Musa?
Yes, Dede.
Yes, we couldn't hear you.
What I'm saying is that apart from the that I can talk about is that the hospital has started the process of whoever is coming to visit someone in the hospital goes through a process of identification so that what happens with Madame Derry, the newly born baby, will not happen again. And the police have also started a process of making sure the suspect is transferred to the Awisi headquarters for the court issues to be dealt with there. But some of the relatives of Joe Abugui, who is the father of the baby, have been at the police station since morning to make sure that that man's justice is adhered to by the police. That's why that nothing new has with regards to the case.
Okay, thank you so much, Musa Lansa. Musa Lansa is our Deputy News Editor, who is currently in Zebila, giving us updates on the issue of a family who lost their baby and they are asking for the arrested suspect to be handed over to them. It's time for sports now, and Jones Aji is in the studio for sports news.
All right, so let's get straight into the Black Stars. And the Black Stars of Ghana changed their venue for training yesterday from the University of Ghana Stadium to the Accra Sports Stadium in preparations for their crucial World Cup qualifier against Mali on Thursday. The change of venue is to prepare the UG Stadium for the CAA Zone 2 Athletics Championship that begins tomorrow. Meanwhile, Bournemouth striker Antoine Semenyo is optimistic about the chances of the Black Stars winning both games against Mali and the Central African Republic.
I think we're ready to take the challenge, ready to get 2 wins. I think we've got a good team, like I said, so we just need to win at the end of the day. So we're going to train hard this week and then win the first game and hopefully the second. I mean, I want to score in both games, if I'm honest. I mean, as a striker, you want to score, so score goals and then help the team get forward up the pitch. So that's all for me.
Now to Europe, where Jose Mourinho has been unveiled as a new coach of Fenerbahce in front of thousands of supporters. The former Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, and Chelsea boss signed his contract at the Sukru Sarakoglu Stadium yesterday as fans chanted and cheered his name from the stands. According to the Portuguese tactician, coaches are normally loved for winning trophies, but the Fenerbahce fans have showed him love before the victories.
Normally, coach is loved after victories. In this case, I feel that I am loved before victories. For me, is a big responsibility. Is a big responsibility that I feel, and I promise you that from this moment, I belong to your family. This shirt is my skin. I want to work for Turkish football. I want to work for the Turkish league. I want to help to improve. But the most important thing for me is not Turkish football. Is not Turkish league, is Fenerbahce.
Now let's move to Real Madrid, where Kylian Mbappe will sign a contract to join Real Madrid on a free transfer when his PSG deal expires on June 30th. The France striker verbally agreed to move to the Bernabeu in February and then announced in May he would leave PSG at the end of the season. Mbappe has now signed terms with Real Madrid and will move to Spain when the La Liga transfer window opens on the 1st of July. And finally, Chelsea are set to confirm Enzo Maresca as their new head coach today. The 44-year-old who will succeed Mauricio Pochettino at Stamford Bridge has agreed a 5-year deal and will move from Leicester after leading them back to the Premier League by winning in the Championship. Maresca is taking 6 members of his backroom staff from Leicester with him, including former Chelsea goalkeeper Willy Caballero. That's all for sports. My name is Jones Aji.
Thank you so much, Jones, for giving us sport. To other stories, Executive Director for the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, Dr. Kingsley Kugu, has rubbished a promise by the NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama to deploy technology such as artificial intelligence in fighting galamsey. Former President Mahama, among other measures, assured the use of AI to fight the illegal mining menace. But speaking to Starr News, Dr. Kugu argued the solution to illegal mining is to decentralize the fight.
You can always use technology to do whatever you want to do if you understand exactly what you want to do.
Okay.
But I can tell you, we are getting into an election period, and anybody, including the former president, can say whatever they want. But I can tell you, having worked as a head of a project that was dealing with small-scale mining, and now at the, I can tell you that there is only one solution for galamsey.
What is it?
Formalization of the sector.
Okay.
Getting everybody who wants to do galamsey to get into the formal sector, registering what they want to do, and coming under the regulations of the Minerals Commission, the EPA, and the Water Resources Commission. These are government institutions mandated to regulate the sector, and if you are not formalized, it becomes very difficult for anybody, whether technology, whatever you're going to do, it's a livelihood matter. You can't stop people from going to do it. You can beat them, you can do whatever you want, but as long as young people are hungry and someone tells them that under this ground, I can get money out of it, there is no easy solution. So it's not just a question of technology or AI. Let's face the reality that...
Let's attack it from the...
Well, Vice Chancellor of Loughborough University, Professor Nicholas Robert Jennings, who has been researching into AI for more than 30 years, believes that technology can be deployed to protect the environment. Speaking to Starr News after visiting Ghana to secure collaborations with Sports Ministry and some other Ghanaian institutions, the professor argued AI must be deployed together with other measures to ensure complete success.
Artificial intelligence is a general purpose technology, so you can really use it for a whole variety of different applications. And in fact, when I give talks on artificial intelligence, I'll often challenge the audience to name a domain where they think AI will not make an impact, and I will then endeavor to try and tell a story about where I think AI will impact it. So it will make a difference to society. We have to be careful, I think, about the sustainability of the AI methods themselves. So I think sort of there's a recent prediction that by 2026, the kind of, if the models that are being developed now continue at the level of scaling that they've done, that they will use electricity equivalent to a small European country like Austria or Finland in order to be able to operate. So we have to think about sustainable ways of doing AI. I think the current way of doing it will work for some times, but we can't just rely on scaling. We have to think about other ways of getting efficient.
Before we go, the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, of the Menchia Divisional Police Command has arrested renowned Ghanaian actor Kojo Nkansa, popularly known as Lewin, in connection with a tragic accident that claimed the life of a 3-year-old boy. The arrest occurred shortly after Lewin was discharged from the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, where he has been receiving treatment since the incident. The delay in Lewin's arrest was attributed to his medical condition, with a police vehicle stationed at the hospital to ensure he could be taken into custody immediately upon his release. Well, this has been the Starr Midday News here on Starr 103.5 FM. For more news, log on to starfm.com.gh. Have a wonderful afternoon.